Hello, Recapped Mr. here. Today, I'm going to explain a Chinese comedy fantasy film, Richang Huanqiang Zinan. Watch out and take care. A Zhen, the film's protagonist, is a con artist. He steals a historic statue from a well-guarded museum at the start of the film. The statue is associated with various superstitions, since people believe that whoever has held it in the past has gone insane in some way. Zhen goes to meet his business partner, Brother Hai. After successfully obtaining the aforementioned valuable, he sells him other prehistoric items from the museum, but he keeps the statue for himself. Adam, Brother Hai's client, is enraged because he did not receive the statue. Later that night, while attempting to start his automobile, Zhen spots a car on the other side of the road slipping downhill. As he tries to halt it, he is struck by lightning and knocked out. A flashback to his past reveals that when he was young, his principal punished him for taking money from his wallet, despite the fact that it was a joke set up by his buddies. Zhen was publicly humiliated in front of the entire school. In a moment of wrath, he had begged God to strike him with lightning if he had stolen the money. He awakens in his bed in the present. His veins on his arms had turned crimson and prominent. Much to his astonishment, Zhen doesn't give it much thought and opens the fridge. He sees someone's face inside it at first sight, but when he looks again, it's gone. Similarly, after peeing, the toilet transforms into a human and begins speaking. Zhen is really taken aback. He steps out of the lavatory, but he can hear his couch whispering. His pet even begs him to get him a female cat. Soon, all of the objects in his room, including his TV, plants, and decorations, begin to converse. Zhen hurriedly gathers the precious statue and dashes outside. He scolds a man who is peeing in his car, but the man turns out to be a stray dog. Zhen begins to believe that the lightning strike to his head has caused him to become insane. He rushes into his car and drives away in a hurry. A few seconds later, his car collides with an elderly guy who requests that he drive slowly. He smiles at Zhen as he sits alongside him in the front seat. Zhen gets out of the car and runs to a beach, clutching the bag containing the statue. The statue speaks to him when he opens the bag. The statue's human form comes to life and accuses Zhen of taking him. Zhen then goes to the doctor to get his head examined. The doctor is the same principal who earlier accused him of stealing his money. When the doctor refuses to believe Zhen can communicate with things and animals, his computer transforms into a human and converses with Zhen. Zhen informs the doctor about all of the promiscuous films he has saved on his PC while using the computer. The doctor is taken aback. The doctor recommended that the man see a psychiatrist now that he is aware that he is a pervert. Zhen runs into his childhood crush and buddy, Wang Kaomai. As he leaves the doctor's office, she recognizes him right away, and the two have a brief conversation. Zhen inquires about any diseases that may cause people to communicate with inanimate objects. Kaomai merely laughs at him and hands him her business card. Zhen's mood has improved dramatically since their brief contact. He requests that his car communicate with him, but it refuses. It comes to a halt in the middle of the road a few minutes later. When Zhen comes out to inspect something, the engine blows up, sending him plummeting to the ground. The statue has somehow fallen safely on the road. The human figure appears and advises Zhen to practice good virtue and return everything he has stolen. Only then will the things cease talking to him. A short time later, the repairmen arrive and the car is driven to the garage. Zhen wants to repair it, but the technician advises that changing parts on such an ancient vehicle is impossible. Therefore he should destroy it. Zhen discovers a red mask on the road after it is taken away. The mask speaks to him and tells him about 4 criminals who are on their way to loot a jewelry store. The scene transitions to a van in which the burglars are driving to the jewelry store. They kidnap a woman and use her pantyhose as a mask because one of them has lost his mask. However, when they arrive at the shop, the police are there waiting for them. Zhen had gone to the police station a few hours before to report the robbers that the mask had warned him about. The police inspector initially thought Zhen was a weirdo, but after communicating with his office table, he believed him. After the thieves are apprehended, the police officer requests that Zhen contact his next of kin because he believes Zhen is mentally sick. He summons Kaomai to the police station, where he convinces the officer that Zhen is not in his right mind. They then travel to the beach, where Zhen informs her about everything that has happened to him up to that point. Kaomai refuses to believe him and predicts that he has schizophrenia. She expresses her willingness to assist him in regaining his normal mental state. Zhen agrees to pretend to be mentally sick in the hopes of getting closer to Kaomai. When she walks away, a lightning bolt strikes the park bench he was sitting on moments before. The human shape of the bench pursues Zhen, accusing him of being the cause of his injury. Zhen returns to the museum late at night, hoping that it will help him return to normalcy. The human form of the statue reminds him that doing something for his own good would not benefit him. Nonetheless, Zhen leaves the statue in the museum. The next day, Brother Hai discovers that the thief has returned the statue. His associates are pressuring him to obtain the statue as quickly as possible because he has already accepted part of the money. Meanwhile, Kaomai convenes a conference with all of the hospital's doctors, including their former principal, to discuss Zhen's condition. The physicians, on the other hand, disregard her concerns, claiming that Zhen is faking his illness in order to be closer to her, except for the former principal, who agrees with her and lets her assist him. Zhen goes to an old shrine late at night to return a book he stole. He notices a bunch of monks training, but they are statues. The chief monk takes the book from him and commends Zhen on his good deed. Kaomai takes him to a field the next day as it begins to rain. She forces him to wear an antenna in order for the lightning bolt to strike him again and cure his condition. However, the plot fails because Zhen is too afraid to be struck. Zhen thanks Kaomai for being nice to him when they were children on their way back home. When the principal accused him of taking the money, she was the only one who believed him. They talk about Kaomai's yellow parasol, which she used to carry everywhere. She claims it was her late mother's only memory, but it was stolen a few years ago. She curses the person who stole it, not realizing it was Zhen. When he gets home, he tries to apologize to the umbrella, but it refuses to speak to him. Following that, he pulls a painting from his collection of stolen goods. The painting in question is the Mona Lisa. He takes it to a museum and presents it to artist Adam to ensure its authenticity. Adam is a customer of Brother Hai who has been pestering him to take the statue. He uses the art gallery to conceal his criminal enterprise. Kaomai, to Zhen's astonishment, is also visiting the art gallery. He discovers she is dating Adam and immediately departs. Zhen is at the hospital the next day with Kaomai. She has taken a lie detector with her to see if he is telling her the truth. She asks him if he had a crush on her when they were in high school. Someone cuts them off before Zhen can respond. Zhen returns to see Adam a few hours later and finds him painting a naked picture of a girl. Adam is clearly cheating on Kaomai. In his opinion, Zhen is unable to sleep that night. He considers telling Kaomai the truth, but his houseplant urges him against hurting her relationship. Kaomai later takes Zhen on a hot air balloon journey to help him overcome his alleged fear of heights. She also remembered that it was his birthday and gave him a cake. Zhen is taken aback by the gesture. His joy is short-lived, however, as he overhears her on the phone with Adam on the way back. Zhen then proceeds to tell Adam about the original Mona Lisa picture he owns, but Adam refuses to believe him. When he's not looking, Zhen uses the time to text all of his flings on his phone. The following day, all of the girls, including Kaomai, gather and beat Adam up for playing with them. Later that day, she goes to a bar with Zhen to distract herself from her ex-boyfriend. They spend the entire night dancing and drinking. Zhen drives her home because she is too inebriated to drive herself. He quickly hides the umbrella so she doesn't see it, and they spend the remainder of the night watching television. Meanwhile, a jealous Adam goes to his brother Hai and shows him CCTV evidence of Zhen conversing on his phone and asking for the passcode. Adam has been watching him for a few days and has learned about his particular ability. Brother Hai, on the other hand, does not believe him. Back at Zhen's house, his possessions begin to nudge him to inform Kaomai about the umbrella. He becomes irritated by them and travels to the dumping place to meet his old automobile. He wants to say his final farewell before it is razed. The car's male version informs him that it used to intentionally break down when Zhen embarked on a heist because it was the only way the car could have stopped him from doing horrible things. Zhen apologizes for being unpleasant to him for so long. They exchange an emotional farewell as the man vanishes into thin air and the car is destroyed. Following the meeting, Zhen rushes to meet Kaomai and informs her of his abilities. In addition, He provides her the yellow umbrella and apologizes for taking it. Kiyomi requests that he speak to the umbrella and tell her what her mother's dying words were. Kiyomi does not believe the umbrella since it refuses to speak. She runs out, enraged by his lies. Zhen looks at his arm after arriving home that day and notices that the last line of the red vein has turned normal, indicating that all of his debts have been paid and he can no longer communicate with objects. He receives a call from Brother Hai, who threatens him with Kiyomi's life and summons him to a warehouse. Zhen hurries there after learning that Hai wants him to talk to a locker containing precious weapons and discover its passcode. If Zhen does not comply, he threatens to kill Kiyomi. She is suspended from a high point on the other side of the room. Zhen tries but fails to speak with the locker. He admits that he has lost his ability. Hai is about to shoot him, but the cops come just in time to save both of them. When Zhen gets home, he looks through his stuff and remembers their continual chattering. The film concludes with Kiyomi using her yellow umbrella to shield Zhen from the rain. The end. Please subscribe to assist the channel, turn on notification and leave a like. Thank you for taking the time to watch. See you again soon.